Hello, humans of Britain. Welcome to the news today. I'm your host, Oswald, that ends Wald. Our top stories tonight. The Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, have recently announced that potatoes, though botanically a vegetable and often considered as a legume, are actually classed as a For fuck's sake, who cares? Who fucking cares? I mean, first, some idiot's trying to tell me a banana is a berry or something. Now some wanker wants to tell me that a potato is a lagoon or whatever the fuck they're calling it. Who gives even the smallest, iota of a shit?
They've actually said that it's not a legume, it's a starch or root vegetable.
Do you want to fucking die, Jeremy? That's not a rhetorical question. Do you want to die?
No, sir.
Now for the headlines where you are. The UCK. The Executive Director and CEO of Lloyds Banking Group, Charlie Nunn, has announced that he deeply regrets his actions in not properly completing his tax returns this year.
Below it, I crossed out 2 and 3 and just said not interested. Which, I mean, what a stupid thing to do. Anyway.
At the Conservative Party conference earlier this week, a number of members tested positive for an infection called sliposis. Individuals were unable to stop slapping their hands together for no reason. Defence Secretary Ben Wallace was particularly confused by the outbreak. This was moments before he was informed of his own name. The Deputy Prime Minister has come under fire for what people are referring to as a waste of Parliament time after a contest to build the largest mud hut in an effort to build team-working skills backfired and led to angered remarks.
Usual mix of bluster and mudslinging is because they don't have a plan.
Why is he so far off to the side? Oh, it's an edited picture. What's the real picture? Oh, right. Comments Nigel Farage made to The Telegraph before England's entry into the 2022 Football World Cup have surfaced and been frowned upon by many.
I'm sorry, it's a strong word, but I despise what they've done, what they've become, the weakness of their so-called leaders. I've actually got to the point, I hope they lose. I hope they lose big.
That was moments before he saluted his true allegiances. And now we move to our next segment. Actually, you know what? I just need to say something, right, for a second. I've been thinking, is poisoned food actually food? Hear me out. Because poisoned food is no longer food, right? I mean, Jeremy, look up the definition of food. I said look up the definition of food.
Yes, any nutritious substance that people or animals eat or drink, or that plants absorb in order to maintain life and growth.
In order to maintain life and growth, right? But poisoned food doesn't maintain life and growth, it kills you, doesn't it? So, at the point where, food stops being a state into which it becomes, poisonous or whatever, then, it's not food. So when a piece of food goes off in your fridge, it's no longer a piece of food because, eating it would go against the very definition of food. So, if you took a piece of food and it went...
Hi there. Welcome to the weather segment. This is where we talk about the weather, the climate, the...
You can't silence the truth. At the point where food becomes poisoned or toxic, it stops being food, all right? So, Russell, don't chat this shit to me saying I need to clear out my old food from the fridge, all right? It's not food. Plus, you're my housemate, not my mother. And if we're going tit for tat, right, I swear to God, your incessant use of the word like is fucking intolerable. I think you have a lot of good qualities, but you don't apply yourself. Why don't you, stop talking like a prick and realise that no one likes you? Now for a News Today special report on the current state of the environmental crisis. Viewers be warned, this report contains pollen.
The environment is in crisis. CO2 emissions are destroying the atmosphere and polluting the very air we breathe. Is it too late? Are we too late to... Ponds like these used to be crystal clear, but because of excess littering and just general pollution, water sources are becoming harsher and more dangerous to consume. How long until we have to filter all of the water that we drink? Are we too late to... The environmental crisis that we are now facing is not one easily fixed, especially with the government not giving its importance it deserves. The question really is, can we stop the climate change in time for us to reverse its negative effects? Can we really turn back and save ourselves from the environmental horror that we are now facing?
Just time to have a quick look at tomorrow's headlines. Foreign butterflies taking top zoo jobs, geologist claims. That's in the Mail. The Independent, a weaker pound will reduce the likelihood of concussion. The Express goes with deceased World War II veteran urges council to fix untamed potholes. Confusing but contentious. The Sun, scrotum. And the Daily Star, has Rishi got the Sunak? An in-depth report into the PM's legal history. And that's it. That's the news today. Now go. I said leave. Be off with you. Fiends! Hooligans! Youths!